I'm not gonna complain this time, cause I actually wanted Clara. Hello and good morning everyone. It's been a while since I've actually made a video, but as you can tell from the title, it took a while. So why did I spend 100 days for my starter characters? I mean, they'll likely be replaced in the future by a future DPS, and I literally have AE2S1 Seele. I can spend 100 days in Genshin to just build Kale, but that's because I can already clear Abyss with what I got. So why start off a Star Rail account by spending 100 days for these 4 colorful trailblazers? I was just bored. 100 days for my starter characters, hopefully it goes well. Will the journey be hell or heaven? Will I be shitting my pants and cry? Will I still have any sanity left? Probably not, but I don't really care. I just hope it's gonna be a time worth being a part of my memory. Anyways, let's finally start the 100 days Star Rail journey. Okay, no, we're not starting off immediately. If I want my characters to be well built, then I need good 5-star relics. And guess what? My account didn't start at Trailblazer level 60, so I couldn't guarantee myself double gold drops. I know, shocking right? So let's start off with the preparations. Before I reached Trailblazer level 60, I decided to raise my Seele a bit. Along with Bronya, Natasha, and Silver Wolf. During my days before I hit level 60, I actually raised Serval a bit for AoE damage. She was raised before I decided to include her in the 100 days journey. So I've actually spent more than 100 days for these 4. And these 100 days will actually be sort of a challenge. Once it starts, I won't be able to farm relics or materials for any other character. Doesn't matter if I want to build Qingque, Asta, or even my Seele. 100% of all my Trailblaze power during this journey will go into these 4. No. Huh, that's weird. I thought I heard something.
It was probably just your imagination.
Wait, what? Anyways, here's a list of stuff to get done before starting. Get good enough damage to clear stuff. Rituals in order to boost my drop rates, even though I don't really believe in rituals. I also need to mentally prepare myself, cause I know relic farming will not only take my Trailblaze power, but also my sanity. And of course, level 60 for double gold drops. My Seele is decent. For an early game build she's not that bad. E2 and Light Cone will probably help her a lot. So that's one down. Now to the rituals. This video is sponsored by Mung Bean Soda. This isn't sponsored, I just wanted to show off my Mung Bean Soda collect, and that concludes the ritual for the video. I gotta make sure I stay as sane as possible, so once I do my dailies, I'll actually close the game, and then I'll do something else. Remember to take a few breaks from gaming every once in a while, trust me bro when I say sleeping without your phone is awesome. And drink some water, stay hydrated folks. And finally, the last thing before we can start. Hitting level 60. Don Hung, Don Feng, Danny Hanny, Tall Xiao, Cold Dragon Young, I'm Bai to Bai Te Torlune, Magical Girl Transformation Person, whatever you wanna call him, was the first one I wanted to raise. Mostly because I already invested a bit in my Serval, and the only single target damage I had was Seele, who wasn't properly built. Building Dan is simple enough, give him some wind pieces and pat his head, and boom, your Dan successfully does damage. But then, I ran into my first problem. You see, I've mostly just been focusing on my Seela. So while I do have some pretty decent defense, the only line of defense I had at the moment was a level 60 Natasha. And I can't invest into her, cause for some reason, my goofy ass thought it would be funny to make this a challenge. I did get Bailu's light cone from standard and put it on Nat, so maybe it's not that bad. If we ignore her relic, I had to painfully manual farm the pieces. I was even struggling a bit with the simulated universe if I didn't get the correct blessings. Should I have started building MC in March? Probably, but I wanted to build Dan first, that way I could speedrun MOC. I wanted to see just how many materials I needed. It'll maybe be a bit expensive. I went ahead and leveled Dan to 80, and tried not to think too much about it. Those 208 purple preservation traces haunts me at night. Why get them to 80? Cause fuck you, I wanna max them out. Don't care about your this is a waste of time and materials bullshit, cause I wanna play games my own way. And now, all there was left to do was grinding. I have to say, Star Rail isn't the most visually engaging game for videos or streams. So let's talk about stuff that isn't Star Rail, while Star Rail is playing as background noise. In order to maintain some of my sanity, I played hardcore Minecraft a bit. In order to fill my gacha addiction, I decided to play Arknights. Game pretty fun and characters are awesome. I also did some drawing as well. I'm planning to make a very unholy manga. So yeah, that's how my days went. The grinding process was really stale. And I was gonna sit through 100 days of this. Is doing a 100 days challenge good for your account? Probably not. Is it good for your mental health? Definitely not. So for the next few days, it was just me grinding relics, over and over again. I was 14 days in. I leveled up some relics, and I considered them good enough. So I went ahead and farmed for some traces. Okay, this is getting really stale. And my TTS voice is not helping. Currently, I was getting a lot more joy doing a lot of other stuff beside content creating. I was getting more and more bored, having to use the same team over and over again. Free-to-play players was challenging MOC at this point. I saw people doing solo Clara runs in simulated universe. Multiple people were showcasing their Seela doing a fuck ton of damage. Multiple showcases of Big Man. And I'm here, stuck with Dan, because I wanted to do a challenge. And before I knew it, I felt like quitting. Not just this challenge, but maybe even content creating. The 100 Days Kale was the best video I've made, but it only temporarily made me happy, due to how burned out I was from Genshin and YouTube. The videos after that just felt like cardboard copies of myself. And this current 100 Days challenge thing didn't have a strong start. I liked Kale a lot, platonically. She's a personal favorite character of mine. Dan Heng had some competition though. Even with his backstory, I just didn't care about Dan that much. Would this have been different if I had built March or MC first? Not really. Because my only single target option was still Seela. Another character I really wanted, and I really wanna build, was Clara. And I got Clara the same day I started the 100 Days journey. The urge to build Clara for 100 days instead, and quitting making this video, was slowly building up. I felt like quitting. But I didn't. On day 19, I got a rope. I compared him to my Seela, and used Seela's light cone for both of them. Suddenly today, My stale-ass Star Rail game didn't feel that stale anymore. I was killing enemies with my Dan, even if they meant nothing towards my progress. I was just killing enemies on the map. These numbers on the screen might not be big for you, but they were for me. These numbers aren't big, but they were important. Because even if it's not that much, it still meant I was making progress. And these numbers gave me a feeling. It was a feeling I haven't felt in a long time. The same feeling I felt doing the 100 days Kale investment. It was the most pure and absolute joy of watching all the shit you did finally getting paid off. And with this, I felt once again motivated to continue this journey. All I need now was the light cone from Herta's shop and the final traces, and he was basically done. The journey in-game was 100 days, meaning I spent 100 days worth of Trailblaze power. That's a total of 24,000 Trailblaze power, plus also some extra from fuel. That's actually the reason why that these 2000 Trailblaze power videos never really impresses me. Do a bit of math, and you'll realize, it's not even 8.5 days worth of Trailblaze power. Back to the thing I was gonna talk about. Day 21 during summer, I flew to my home country and visited some family. I only brought my phone and my iPad to draw on, so I couldn't really play Star Rail. Couldn't you just play on your phone? I hope that answered your question. The trip was nice. I saw like 3 birds inside the airport, and I bought a hat. But I did actually make about 6 days worth of progress on my trip, cause I discovered my iPad could run Star Rail. By the way, I should probably explain why I didn't quit. Yes, it's partly because I did finally make progress, but it's also because I still have interest in content creating. If I cancelled this video out, and made a Clara video instead, my anxiety of not uploading would rise. Anyways, we should start part 2. I finally came back from my trip, and I was excited for the next parts, cause it actually got characters I really like. March and Serval are 2 of my favorites, and I could farm for both at once. Not only that, since I have Dan Heng built, Dan Heng might finally be used. Oh wait.
No! No! No!
Thank you Hoyovers, I love you as well. But hey, at least I can sneak Dan in because I have Silver Wolf. We can at least count that as good news, since I now have another DPS character to play around with. And for the bad news, I still have over 70 days left. It's not the first time I've done something like this, so maybe it'll all be fine. Except for my sanity though. And also my credits. No, my credits. You can't leave me yet. We still got the 27k credits worth of daily mung bean soda to buy. Maybe buying daily mung bean soda wasn't the best idea. After I was done with the journey, I was sitting at around 1.39 million credits worth of mung bean soda. I should probably have bought less mung bean soda, since I was planning to spend over 10 million for these 4. Oh well, I'll probably get those credits at some point, and I'll mostly be relic farming for the next few weeks or months. So I don't have to worry about going broke for traces yet, so until then, it's time to gamble for the crit stats. Oh wait, this cost credits as well. You see, this is the thing about farming videos in Genshin or Star Rail. It's really just the same content over and over again, until your damage numbers go up, and then you can call it a video. Oh well, since I probably won't be leaving this cavern until my Serval's damage numbers go up, let's get comfortable while we're here. Hello there my fellow trailblazers, welcome to my little Abyss Mage corner. That's September 27th, the Warp Spider, that's my couch, that over there is a Cyox, and here's my fridge. And it does contain food, which we all love. And I absolutely do, cause holy shit, if you have unprepared characters for a cavern, food is gonna be your savior early game. Listen, I know a lot has the, if you use food for the game you got a skill issue, mindset. And yes, I might have a skill issue, but I don't care. If food can help me auto-farm early game, I'm gonna become American. Sorry to my American audience. This time the relic farming wasn't that bad, because I could actually auto-farm now thanks to food. Thank you to the Xiansho vending machines, not sponsored. My TTS definitely pronounced that wrong. The food made my auto-farming a lot less stressful, and I could finally sit back and relax. Well, I couldn't really say I was completely relaxed. While I was farming, I used Nat as my healer. She still held her ground, despite being level 60 with purple relics. But then, one man alone, took the healing meta by storm. I'm just gonna call him Otto, because I don't wanna try to make my English TTS pronounce that. Also because it's shorter. Sorry to my Chinese audience. Back to Otto. When this man came out, I knew I was gonna be screwed in the future. You see, aside from these 100 days journeys, there's another long journey that I've devoted myself to. My goal in Honkai Star Rail is E6S5 Sela. I got E4 from the rerun banner. I am creating what is potentially gonna be one of the most powerful, free-to-play Sela that anyone has ever seen. And if I only pull for Sela, I'm gonna be struggling in defense, and also in DPS. Cause I know that one day, a new E05 star will do twice the amount of damage as E6 Sela. So while I was farming this cavern, I not only had anxiety of not uploading, but also anxiety for future content. As much as I've tried to keep a healthy mind, I can't help but feel my sanity drifting away. I tried playing a bit of Honkai Impact, and also punishing Grey Raven, then also a bit of TF2. How the fuck was none of these speed boots? I stole Dan's rope 37 days in and had a decent serval. But don't worry, I still got 63 days more of this. 63 more days together with my starter characters. I gotta say, it's kinda boring. I've only focused on a handful at the start of my account, and currently I'm only focusing on 4. And because of my goal of E6 Sela, this is probably the most restricted I've felt playing a gacha game. But with a good amounts of pulls saved up, and a Kafka banner.
Second phase of version 1.2 in the character warp, Nessun Dorma, Trailblazers can obtain the limited 5-star character Kafka and 4-star character Luca.
With the amount of pulls I had, I was getting really tempted to spend my jades. Wawata, the fuck, where am I?
Welcome. Hydro Abyss Mage. We're here to discuss about the Kafka banner. You have been tempted by Kafka into pulling her, even though you already said that you had the goal of creating the most powerful Sela. So today, we are here to judge if you really should pull.
Excuse me, but who are you
I
again?
am not very different from you, Hydro Abyss Mage. We are both a 2D version of mobs from a game, made in MS Paint. I am your local guardian shadow.
Huh, I think all my sanity is gone.
So, Abyss Mage, are you sure you wanna pull Kafka? Even if you did pull her, you still have 60 days left. And let's not forget the 0S1 Clara you wanted to build. To me, Your true desire seems to be gambling, so go play Arknights or something.
Maybe I'll wait with pulling. Let's have a talk about Serval. After all, this is her part. She's a free character, but she isn't really a part of the main cast. That's why I decided to call it the starter trio and Serval investment. So why did I decide to include her? 1. Because then I only had to stick to one relic cavern. 2. Just because I like her. She's just awesome, so why not? I don't care if she's meta or not, I don't care if Jing Yuan exists. What I do care about is my own way of enjoying a game. I just like building characters that I personally like. Playing meta is just not my cup of tea. And sure, it will definitely take a while to full star the Memory of Chaos. But once that day comes, I'll be full starring it with the biggest grin on my face. 37 days in, my Serval wasn't actually that bad. But then again I did steal Dan Hong's robe. I might have to end the journey earlier than I thought. I pressed autoplay, and farmed for traces. I'm not even halfway through, and it's going a lot better than I initially thought. While farming for traces, I was mostly just fantasizing about who to build, once I was done with the 100 days. I kept farming for Serval until I hit day 42. While I was farming for her traces, I kept being reminded about the 208 purple preservation traces. You know what, maybe I don't have to end the journey earlier. After I only needed the final traces, I took a break farming for my Serval traces. I can't really recall why I did that, but I did start farming for the traces again later on. But before this part ends, it was finally time. I'll make that number 208 go down to maybe 0. I'm still a bit hesitant to level March's ultimate, basic attack, and talent. Anyways, I mentally prepared myself, got my team ready, sighed as I looked at the 208 traces again, but with a more determined face. And part 3 had started.
Hey, hey, 答えて誰かいませんかずっと探しても答えないや Hey, hey, 僕だけが僕を作るから泣いたって笑って憎んだって愛して生きてゆく
And so, I farmed for the traces. 208 is quite a lot of Trailblaze power, and it's not the most fun thing to talk about in a video. There was also a double drop event. Since I didn't want to miss out on that, I also farmed relics again. Because farming for traces is a bit boring, how about we skip from day 42, all the way to 60. 18 days of farming traces, and I still wasn't done, so I said fuck it, and decided to do it later. Those 66 traces, by the way, is just for the final 3 ones to fully max them out. I know it's expensive and unnecessary, but who cares? Maybe you care, but I don't. Anyways, wanna see a cool trick? It's a special fireworks bomb made by Gui Naifen. Get a bit closer, don't worry, it's not that dangerous.
Killer Queen 第3の爆弾バイツァーダスト
Let's talk about March a bit. The reason why we're going back is because March and Serval shared the same domain. But I didn't actually use 4-piece Knight for March. I decided to have a bit of fun. Everyone, say hi to Mach 7. The headpiece I got from Exploration, and I made the sneakers with self-modeling resin. I wanted to give my March as much speed as possible. After day 42, she had 154 speed. Why? Honestly, I'm not sure, I just kinda got bored. Anyways, let's return back to part 3 or something. March part could technically be part 4, or 3. But I did build March before part 3 started. I don't know man, going back and forth gets a bit confusing. The March and Serval part happened at the same time. Maybe I should have included March in part 2, but that's a bit too late, I didn't think of that while editing. For the rest of the journey, I just farmed the same cavern again. During version 1.3, my fears and nightmares were coming true. Dan Heng Il made me worry about future DPS units. I kind of said it as a joke, but maybe one day, new E05 stars will actually do twice as much as E6 Sela. And for my second worry, Star Rail's endgame is expanding. Okay, that's actually really great. It's great, but it's scary, especially for someone like me, who's relying on a level 60 nat. I was just barely able to beat difficulty 3 Swarm Disaster, and I didn't even dare to try Swarm 4. Wait a minute. I was able to clear Swarm 3. Because of March and Stel. Which means that my account was actually making progress. My Natasha was no longer lonely on the defense line. Because of March and Stel, auto-battling without food felt more comfortable than ever. If there's something I regret from this journey, I regret not investing and using them earlier. The amount of comfort they brought was amazing. For so long, I've been blinded by my desire to build DPS characters, in order to kill stuff faster, that I've forgotten the comfort of great defense. During 1.3, they released Dan Heng Il.
Google, show me this guy's balls, please.
And then they released another unit. They released a quantum unit. Fu Xuan is a really great defensive option. And because of the discovery of comfort by defensive characters, I wanted to pull her.
Oh, you're back here again, Hydro Bismage. And we both know why.
Yes, I know I said I was gonna create the strongest Sela. Lady Fu is a great defensive option that could really help. After all, you won't be able to kill stuff if you get killed yourself.
That's true, but you could also kill them before they manage to even hurt you.
But Lady Fu is different from someone like Otto, since she could actually make our Sela stronger.
Really?
Don't forget why Silver Wolf was pulled. Silver Wolf was pulled because it would allow us to Sela anywhere. And if we bring Lady Fu in, Silver Wolf will have an easier time applying quantum weakness.
Fair enough. Fu Xuan is welcome aboard.
For the first time in a long time, I was gonna pull. Ever since day 60 it got really repetitive. It was around here I actually started editing a bit. I edited a bit of the stuff before part 1. And then I stopped editing because I wanted to work on the thumbnail. I've been doing a lot of art recently. I've honestly been thinking about making an art channel. It was finally time. I had more than enough pulls ready, and I was excited. If I have to be honest, since I didn't really have a lot of characters, I wouldn't mind losing the 50-50. Preferably Himiko. So far I've gotten 3 Selas and a Silver Wolf. Basically I've won 4 50-50s in a row, and a light cone. The chance of me winning 5 is too low, so I was hoping for Himiko. And my 50-50 streak has increased to 5. But, what are the chances of winning
6 50-50s in a row? Oh no. Oh, I might as well just stomp it all. Fuck it.
Oh darling, don't you know life is so sweet. 君の夢というのその瞳を覗い
And that's the story of how I won 7 50-50s in a row. This was live, by the way.
She is taking everybody's
She is just we told her not to do it.
Full another.
And yes, as you heard a while ago.
I do have a voice.
Anyways, how about we move on? There was only 25 days left. And we're entering the final stretch. Well, what the? Oh hey, it's just you again.
You pulled 3. You fucking cockalorum.
Yeah, but to be fair, what was the chance of winning 5, 6 or 7 50?
You even got her light cone. You cockmonger. Airy ballsack. Shit lips.
Huh? Ah shit, you actually parried it.
Ok. Let's dance.
And these 100 days will actually be sort of a challenge. Once it starts, I won't be able to farm relics or materials for any other character. Doesn't matter if I want to build Qingque, Asta, or even Mycela. No. 100% of all No. the Trailblaze power during this journey. No.
Since like you're out of means, Abyss Mage. Once I am done with you, I'll be the one in charge of this channel, and the era of your local guardian shadow will begin. So, Abyssal Mage, do you have any last means?
I still have these.
Oh. This what? Wait.
You fell for it, dumbass. See ya, Dingleberry, have fun in the Shadow Realm. Yes, I did get Fushuan's light cone. I'm sorry, but I don't have the patience for just one character. My goal is still creating the strongest free-to-play Seela, but now it's also creating the strongest Seela team. So if we get some cool quantum support in the future, I'll pull. Back to the 100 days journey. The last 25 days, I farmed the remaining traces I needed. And then relics again. I also reached 777 mung bean sodas. Yup, during the few last days, I decided to play a bit of Genshin again. I played some TCG with friends, and then I quit. But enough about Genshin. The last days were pretty much the same. I got the last traces. And I farmed my last cavern for this journey. Finally, after this one cavern, I would be free. I have to say, these 100 days were probably the most draining thing I've done. Since this was a new account, I didn't really have that many options to clear stuff. I actually still haven't built Mycela, Bronia, Natasha, or Silver Wolf. Why? Because I wanted to see how far my account could have gone when I was at day 100.
Ready to lose your you can fight it. A shoulder for the past without a price. Been present for so long. A pair of wings for me. At ease the man to soar above this world. A shooting star, a brilliantly shines alongside every heart. They all appeal to be blessed. They all
So, was it worth it to spend 100 days for my starter characters? I don't think I need to answer that question. Okay, to be fair, it wasn't that bad damage-wise. I managed to clear stage 7 within 24 cycles. I couldn't clear stage 8 though because I kept dying. Oh yeah, and a little surprise. My Stell actually does damage. I got a lot of crit relics on the night set, so I threw them all on Stell. So, what's next? My next video might actually be a Genshin video. It's not the Kale sequel. I kinda scrapped that, although I do have footage. I haven't been motivated to open Genshin ever since Star Rail came out, only that time I played TCG with friends. Why do I suddenly have the urge to play Genshin again? You'll know once I post that video. Now excuse me, I'll be grinding Primo Gems harder than I've ever done in the past. If you wanna watch me play Genshin, I have a Twitch account. Anyways, let's pray to the algorithm and hope this video does well. Adios and good night, my rats.
Noise.